Hey guys, happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So today I had the shop to myself, being Friday Rafa was out and Jacob was not in. I think he might not be working Fridays generally. I don't know. We still need to kind of figure out his schedule. But anyway, he wasn't here today or yesterday, so shop was kind of quiet, just me and the radio here doing our thing. But anyway, other than seemingly running a bunch of errands today, I mostly worked on the 64 Deluxe bus. And a couple small things here, nothing too earth-shattering, but I did finish assembling the wiper assembly here. And what you can't see is that I did put in the 12-volt armature, so remember, this bus being a hot rod, it's getting a big motor, and of course it's going to be 12 volts. So yeah, Wolfsburg West makes a really cool armature that is literally just a plug and play, so to speak, for these SWF type wiper motors. So if you have a wiper motor that pretty much looks like this, and on the case it should say SWF, then their little armature should pretty much fit in it and convert it to 12 volts. So you don't have wipers that are 6-volt wiper motors running at 12 volts and flapping around uncontrollably, or anything like that. So, or have to put some ugly voltage drop or something in there. I mean, this thing like drops right in there. Very cool product. And anyway, so yeah, got that together the rest of the way. Also started messing around with the e-brake. So the owner did have a nice e-brake handle, which we sent out and had powder coated like we always do. Even when things are going to be painted, we have them sandblasted and powder coated, and then that's sort of our base, so to speak. And so from there, we will paint it the correct color that matches the steering column and everything. Unfortunately, when we had the steering column and all those other things painted, we didn't have this back from powder coating. So I'm going to have to get my our painter, or one of the painters that we use, to spray this thing. But in the meantime, started kind of messing around. I think I've actually collected all the parts that I need. I've already had this this ratchet here zinc plated, so it's ready to go. Got the pins for it. One thing that I found out today, and I just finished before I made this video, was that the hole for the pin, which is underneath the chassis, and actually here, let me just show you, it had a lot of paint in it. And so there was no way that that pin was going in there. So I spent a decent amount of time, and I didn't actually time it because it would have been too depressing. But yeah, so you can see this thing right here. So this hole right there and right there, that's where the pin goes through that the e-brake handle rotates on. And yeah, so those two holes were full of paint, not surprisingly. So but anyway, I pretty much had to get under there and scrape and sand and use every other method at my disposal to pretty much get those to bare metal so that the pins will fit in. And so that was kind of a huge pain in the ass. So I did those things, but the main thing I would say I did today was I went ahead and put the steering box on this bus. And so we have our steering boxes rebuilt by Sean at Slow Ride Garage VW, I think is his name. Sean's out in the high desert here in Southern California. He's one of the few guys that rebuilds these, and he just does an amazing job. So the owner of this bus actually didn't have the core, so we had to buy the core from Sean and then have it rebuilt. And like I said, he does a really nice job. These things just look killer. And so went ahead and installed that today. It's pretty easy to install on a bus. The only thing is that unlike on a Beetle where the steering column is separate from the box, on these buses, the actual steering shaft is pretty much attached to the steering box itself, and you can see how long it is from the floor up. So pretty much what you have to do is you have to jack the bus up high enough so that you can kind of like get that thing up in there like that. So it doesn't really have to be, the bus doesn't have to be as high as the as the length of that steering column shaft, because you can kind of go in at an angle like this, but you still got to get it pretty high. I mean, I'd say the bottom of the bus was probably about here or so when I had it high enough to kind of fish that up in there, and pretty much get it up there, get one bolt in it, and then safely put the bus back down on jack stands, and then from there you just pretty much like bolting the steering box to the frame and everything. But yeah, there is kind of a few minutes of sketchiness where the bus is really high in front. But anyway, getting that in there allowed me to do some more work in here. So got the bottom seal on there, you can see in black, and then there's a kind of a bushing that holds the steering column support here underneath there. You can see it. There's like a cup with a bushing in it that pretty much centers this thing here. So got that in and got this at least temporarily bolted up on here. The tray and everything still needs to go in, so things are just kind of loosely fit here, but pretty much just loosen those up when we go to put the tray in and put everything in, line it all up, and then tighten it up. So yeah, that was kind of the major thing for today, is getting the steering column in. And then I went ahead and put on the turn indicator, which we had also had its housing painted this same color, which I always have a hard time with VW's white colors because there's so many. I think this one is silver white. And so again, that'll be the same color that we have the e-brake lever, which will go right there, painted, and then get that installed. This bus is going to get disc brakes on the back, and the kit doesn't. The kit is actually for the rear of a Beetle, and it doesn't come with correct e-brake cables, so I've got to have some custom cables made for this bus, which isn't a huge deal, but got to get it done nonetheless. So yeah, let's see. I think those are pretty much the main things I did today, other than again running some errands, which nobody wants to hear about. So I think I will stop this video here and tell you guys all thank you for watching, and hope everyone has a good weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.